The Hate You Give follows Starr Carter, a 16-year-old girl whose life is split between two very different worlds. At home, she lives in Garden Heights, aimlessly black neighborhood filled with family, culture, struggle, and survival. This is the place where she knows the people, understands the streets, and feels connected to her roots. But during the day, Starr attends Williamson Prep, a wealthy private school where most of the students are white and privileged. At Williamson, Starr feels like she has become a different version of herself. She watches how she speaks, how she acts, and how much of her real life she allows people to see. She tries not to appear too loud, too angry, too black, or too connected to Garden Heights. This is not because Starr is fake. It is because she has learned that their world judges her differently depending on where she is. Her family also plays a big role in shaping who she is. Her father, Maverick Carter, is strong, protective, and proud of their community. He teaches Starr and her siblings about their rights, their identity, and the reality of being black in America. Her mother, Lisa, also loves the family deeply, but she is more focused on safety and stability. Maverick wants to stay and help build Garden Heights, while Lisa wants to protect the children from the danger on them. Everything changes one night when Starr goes to a party in Garden Heights and reconnects with her childhood friend, Khalil. Khalil is not just someone from the neighborhood. He is part of Starr's past, part of the life she knew before everything became complicated. For a short moment, their conversation feels warm and familiar, like the old friends finding each other again. But after trouble breaks out at the party, Starr leaves with Khalil. While they were driving, they are stopped by a police officer. Starr immediately remembers the lessons her father taught her when she was younger. Keep your hands visible. Do not make sudden movements. Stay calm. Stay alive. The mood becomes tense, and in a moment that changes everything, Khalil reaches into the car for a hairbrush. The officer mistakes it for a weapon and shoots him. Starr watches Khalil die in front of her. From that moment, her life is no longer the same. She is no longer just a student, a daughter, a sister, or a friend. She becomes the only witness to Khalil's death. She knows he was unarmed. She knows what really happened. But knowing the truth and speaking that truth are two different things, especially when telling the truth can place her in danger. After Khalil's death, Starr is traumatized. She is grieving, but she is also afraid. She does not want to become publicly known as the witness. She does not want the police, the media, her school, or the streets to turn their attention toward her. Silence feels safer at first, but the more people talk about Khalil, the harder silence becomes. The media starts shaping Khalil's story before Starr is ready to speak. Instead of focusing only on the fact that he was an unarmed young man who was killed, people begin talking about drugs, gangs, and his mistakes. Slowly, Khalil is turned from a person into a headline. Starr knows he was more than that. She knows his struggles, his humanity, and pressure he was under. But the world seems more interested in judging him than understanding him. At Williamson Prep, Starr begins to see how far apart her two worlds really are. Some of her classmates treat Khalil's death like a trending topic or political debate, not like the death of a real person. Her friend Haley becomes one of the clearest examples of this disconnect. Haley does not truly understand Starr's pain, and her comments reveal how little she respects Starr's world. Starr's boyfriend, Chris, also struggles to fully understand at first, but Hetries. He listens, learns, and wants to support Starr even though he comes from a different reality. Through these relationships, Starr begins to see who accepts all of her and who only accepts the version that makes them comfortable. At home, the pressure continues to build. Maverick teaches Starr about the meaning of thug life, a phrase connected to Tupac's idea that the hate society gives young people eventually affects everyone. In the movie, this becomes more than a phrase. It explains the cycle Starr is watching unfold. Poverty, fear, injustice, violence, and broken systems do not disappear. They grow, and they come back to hurt entire communities. Khalil's situation is complicated because he had been connected to King, a dangerous gang leader in Garden Heights. But the movie does not use that to reduce Khalil's humanity. Instead, it asks why someone like Khalil ended up in that position. He was trying to help his family. He was trying to survive. His choices were not perfect, but they do not justify his death. This is one of the strongest messages in the movie. People are more than the worst things said about them. Khalil was not perfect, but he was still Apperson. He had a name, a family, and a story, and people who loved him. Starr understands this, and that is why it becomes painful to watch others speak about him as if his life did not matter. Starr is caught between fear and truth. If she speaks, she could become a target. If she stays silent, Khalil's story may be buried or twisted forever. The officer may face no real consequence, and Starr will have to live with that knowledge that she had the truth but did not use it. As the case continues, Starr gives a statement, but she quickly realizes that people are not only asking what happened, they are also asking questions designed to make Khalil look responsible for his own death. This makes Starr understand how easily the truth can be redirected. The issue is no longer only about the traffic stop. It is about how the world responds after Simeon is killed. The grand jury decision becomes a major turning point. When the officer is not indicted, Garden Hates reacts with anger and pain. For many people in the community, the decision confirms what they already feared, that the system can take a black life and then protect itself. The protests become more intense, and Starr is pushed into a moment where silence no longer feels possible. During the protest, Starr climbs onto a car and speaks. This is one of the most powerful moments in the movie because she finally chooses her voice in public. She is no longer hiding behind the safe version of herself. She is no longer allowing other people to define Khalil. She says his name. She speaks her truth. She speaks for the boy who can no longer speak for himself. That moment does not fix everything. One speech cannot bring Khalil back, erase racism, or end injustice, but it matters because Starr stops shrinking herself. She brings the Garden Heights version of herself and the Williamson Prep version of herself together. For the first time, she stands as one person. The climax also brings danger to Starr's family. King tries to silence them, and the Carter family store is set on fire. This shows that telling the truth can come with consequences from more than one direction. Starr faces pressure from the police, the media, her school, and even her own community. Maverick and Lisa do not always agree, but they both love their children. One wants to protect them through pride and resistance. The other wants to protect them through safety and distance. The movie shows that love can have different strategies.